Hey everyone, this is Compound from CryptoMiner, and today I want to talk about our economical environment on the CMT token and how everything works and clear out some fogginess around whether it's a Ponzi scheme or pyramid scheme or some other scam. We're going to discuss all that and I'll explain a bit further. But now at the moment I want to show you that if you're not familiar at the moment, feel free to visit us at minertoken.cloud and try out your luck and do whatever you please. But in general, to begin with, we have had multiple accusations that our token is a Ponzi scheme. I want to clear that out by saying no, it's not a Ponzi scheme, because at the beginning of the project, we have never invested huge amounts from developers' perspective to gain as much percentage as we can from anyone who comes in the project to drop the market price. Of course, we had incidents with people who have invested early and who have tried to do an exit scam, but at the moment, since we are over 2,300 Ethereum on the network, token is standing still. We have reached 5,000, of course, within the first week or so, and now we are over 2,000, and the market is strong and the market is correcting itself. So also I want to address the thing that market is always going up and down, and nobody understands why this token is so different from B3D or any other token on the market. Is that we have very low fees. Once you buy in the token, you lose 10% of your initial Ethereum value. So if you invest one Ethereum, you get yourself 0.9 worth of tokens in return. So from that on, the 10% is distributed in two different ways. One way is if you have no masternode or referral link used, your 10% is distributed to 100% of all token holders on the network. So everybody gets a piece of those 10% that been taxed from your investment. Second way is if you do use a master node. So if you do use a master node, the deduction is a bit different. So you are being deducted taxed, of course, 10%, same as in the first case scenario, but 33% of those 10% that were deducted from your initial investment is being given to the master node referrer who gave you the URL, and the rest of the 67% is given out to the 100% of the token holders at the network. So I wanted to address that so everybody fully understands how the token works. And on withdrawal, you have 1% fee that also goes 100% to the token holders. There is no part of investment or transfer or something that's being taken to development or network or any other way. 100% of the Ethereum that goes in goes out one way or another. Also, there was confusion about whether you will lose all your Ethereum if you are the last one staying in the pyramid scheme. So I will address this question a bit later when we look at some charts. But right now, the quick answer is yes and relatively no. So there is no one clear answer because you will never lose Ethereum in the general sense. You will always use these CMT tokens. But the value of the CMT token is dependent on the Ethereum on the network. So if there happens like a click and everybody exits at the same time, of course, the last pyramids part, of course, they're going to lose a lot of money, a lot of percentage of the money that there have been invested. That is always how the pyramid scheme has worked. So let's go down to a chart that I have made so far and see what is what. So this is something I draw recently and I want to explain what is what here. So I don't have any financial degrees or experience in financial fields. I'm an engineer. I have a bachelor's degree in programming and engineering and mathematics, but nothing into finance. So take my word for it, but I might be wrong and somebody from NASDAQ or other financial institutions maybe correct me. But this is my understanding and my research, and I would say that this is the true rather than some accusations that are being thrown at our direction. So the difference between a pyramid and a Ponzi scheme is that they, first of all, they're not the same thing. When I look at the videos created by CryptoManiacs and other Russian channels, most of the time they accuse us that we are a Ponzi scheme. So a Ponzi scheme is way different than our token works. In a Ponzi scheme, everything starts from the top of pyramid. So creators on the top of the pyramid have an investment, and their investment value increases every time somebody lower in pyramid purchases or uses their service that is being controlled by the top. So top always controls 100% of supply on the market, and everybody else buys their part of the market share from the top part. So there's some contractors. Usually third layer on the Ponzi scheme is the victim. So victims buy their product from subcontractors. So contractor creates a product and sells it for $1. Subcontractor is buying this product for $1.20. Then victim is buying the same product for $1.50. Once the victim realizes that the product is not worth the $1.50, he's trying to sell the item to a victim for $2, for example. And if the $2 value doesn't succeed, he can't sell the product. Usually the price drops, and this is where the Ponzi schemes fail. And if you look at CryptoManiacs videos, there multiple times have looked at the charts where they do see this happening on crypto market, that once the token price goes up, there is no correction. It just goes down and stays down because victims can't hold the price of the product because there's no value of it. So CMT is very different in that way. So CMT works not as a Ponzi scheme, but as a pyramid scheme. And we have never said that it's not a pyramid scheme. It is. And we have full knowledge of it, and we understand how we have to handle our market for it to succeed. So in our case, everything started on day zero with developers who invested, I might be wrong here, but we didn't invest more than 20 Ethereum at the very beginning. So once the project, the token was created, we initially put a little bit of value in it. I might be wrong, but it's not over hundreds or something. It might be 20, it might be 50, somewhere in that region. So we invested Ethereum to start the traction of the contract, because nobody wants to invest in a contract that has 0 Ethereum in it. And we, of course, did realize that our Ethereum will increase in value over time. But at the same time, we have marketing costs. We have server running costs. We are constantly being attacked. We have development costs. All these costs are covered from the fee, not the fee, but from the initial capital we put into the pyramid scheme as developers. Because there's no fee on your transactions that we take. There's nothing that we get after the initial capital we put in. That is one thing that we are really being addressed at, and everybody's trying to say that we are making a lot of money out of this. We are making some money, but this money is 90% being spent on our marketing, our development, and our infrastructure. And from there on, we will speak later on about the future. Of course, there's the second layer for us, which was the early investors. Early investors also included the famous Russian guys that everybody now knows about. That those guys were involved in this, and everybody was on the same page that market value can't be manipulated. If project succeeds, yes, during the time you can withdraw some assets, keeping the market safe, but no market price manipulation. So the third part is first outside investors. This is once we launched the website public and started getting traction, and everybody started coming in, and those who were in the beginning with, I would say, plenty of balls of steel, they got in with decent amount of Ethereum. I would say 10 to 100 Ethereum. Those guys made really good profit because they bought for a cheap price a lot of tokens that are highly valued at the moment. Of course, the next step is highly profitable investors. And those are your common friends, Nasha, Pasha, Vasha, Ivan, and everybody else, right? Those are the guys who made decent profit on their 1, 2, or 5 Ethereum investment. They got out 7 Ethereum, or they got 10 Ethereum overnight with the high peaks and drops. So those guys were the guys who made the traction for us. But after the price goes up, there's always a thing called market correction. And once the market correction started to hit in our CMT token for the second or third time, that's where we start realizing that there is this risk category investors. Those are the people who buy high and are not in for the long run. So, as an example, if a CMT price is 0.9 Ethereum, you know what I mean, right? So let's call it 0.9 Ethereum, and these people buy in, and overnight the price drops to 0.7 Ethereum. Those are the ones that, oh my god, I'm gonna lose everything, I'm losing part of my Ethereum, and they jump out, they withdraw, and they lose 30% going in. That's initial ideology of the token, and they lose the value that was dropped over the night. This is not a scheme, that's the market, that's the idea behind this. So this is the risk category. There isn't no category that's going to lose money on 100% certainty. I know that there was addressed video that if everybody withdraws assets at the same time from our market, that last guy standing will have no Ethereum left for them. It's the same idea. You can apply that to any stock exchange. It's a stupid argument. There is no case where everybody withdraws over 20 minutes. There's no such case in world's history. So if we take Google, that's worth billions of dollars, right? And one day everybody would decide to cash out from Google. The first investors would earn a lot of money because the value of the stock is high, right? So what would happen with the last 5 or 1% that's being left with Google stock that's worth 0.00001 cent? You can have billions of stock, but you still have no money, right? So this is where I can't get with this argument that we are some sort of risk investment or things like that. I hope this kind of answers you our tokens principles of work, rather than we're not a Ponzi scheme, we're a pyramid scheme. And for us to succeed, we have to look at the next screen. That is a chart screen I have opened. Let me see, it's right here. So let's look at the CryptoMiner token, right? So scmoney.com and our contract address. Everybody, you can go on, open it, and look at the chart. So this is the chart how it looks 5 minutes ago. And here we can see that this is where we initially started, and first investment start get the traction, people start to come in, and everything rises, and everybody's happy, right? And here over 20 minutes of period we had a drop. We had a drop from 3,000 Ethereum to 700. I do remember that day I was out in the market and I had a phone call, dude, we're fucked. We got 700 Ethereum in our volume is 700, so we're totally screwed, right? So I said, guys, calm down, market's gonna correct itself. This is due to our percentage. This is expected behavior. And here you can see it dropped, and immediately, there was no delay, the price started to go back up, and price keeps going, and again, drop. But this drop, I would say, was related to events that happened in Russia, and price drop, and then it goes down. And here, we can start expecting something similar that happened here. But this was here, I would say 20 minutes period. This is going to take days. These are going to be days. Because if you look at the higher charts, you can definitely notice that the withdrawal amount is starting to stagnate, and also incoming amount is starting to stagnate. Market at the moment doesn't know what is going on with the token. There are rumors that new tokens being created. There's rumors that this token's dead and all those things, and people are confused. They are not withdrawing, and they're not buying in. At the moment, we are in a stage that we are stagnating. We just have to wait a bit while the market figures itself out. And we are coming out with large marketing program within the next days. And also we are launching a new extension of our contract that I don't want to talk about today, and you don't need to write me a private messages asking about it. Once it's public, we will publish it and everybody will be informed about it. So at the moment, I'm saying market's not in a crisis. We don't have any development problems. We don't have security problems. We don't have any problems at all. We are in a stage where market needs to understand the price of the token, and then we are launching in different markets. We are launching new products, and the price is gonna stabilize. I can't promise it's gonna go up. I can't say it's gonna go down, but I can tell you for sure one thing: due to our percent amount, that buy-in price tax is 10%, withdrawal tax is 1%. That means that shorting on this token is very, very real. And that's what people are doing. They are buying in very often and they're dropping coins like crazy. That's where the profit is. You can short it or you can stay in for the long run, and that's what I'm personally doing. I'm not a large Ethereum holder. I'm a developer, but my Ethereum is here for the long run. I have accumulated decent profit already from dividends, just from all the market craziness. I don't have to be involved in any of this to earn money. And this is the thing that we offer. We never promise profit. We never guarantee profit, but we can guarantee that the market is going to be active and even more active over time, because people want to take their divs out. And if we look at the last screen I have prepared for today, it's the Ethereum markets screen. Sorry, Etherscan screen. And these are internal transactions happening at the moment in a contract, and you can see there isn't any large numbers. That's what's going on. Market is stagnating. Nobody's withdrawing large amounts and nobody's putting in large amounts at the moment. Here we can see just withdrawals. I'll show you later on the incoming Ethereum. So you can see there's no large amounts. This one is, but this is 14 hours ago. So this is when the market started to stabilize. And if we go here, if you go into incoming transaction, we can see all these 0 Ethereum transactions, right? Sorry, I was looking at the pending ones. So here are all these 0 transactions. Does anybody understand why those are there? Those are reinvestment transactions. That means people don't want to leave the token. They're in for the long run. And count these transactions and you will realize how large of an audience is believing this token. And now I just want to finalize this video by explaining you that the market is in a good position. We are healthy. Our charts show that we are healthy and we are going for the moon that everybody's waiting for with our next big thing that will be announced during next week. I will not say you more about that today, but I would say investing in CryptoMiner Token might be the right decision for you guys. It was Compots. It wasn't a financial advice. It wasn't anything more, just discussing CMT. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us on our Telegram chats or Discord. Always don't forget to check your balances, check what's going on the CryptoMiner website. Never miss a thing by following this YouTube channel or Discord, Telegram, as I mentioned. And if you have questions, feel free to point them out in the chat and we will try to answer them one of the next videos, because this is going to be a series where we discuss what's happening with the token and how we are evolving and what is about to change. And at the moment, I would like to say that we have fully functional website. We have stabilized all the DDoS attacks and all those things that we are countering last few nights. That's why my eyes are red, not much sleep. And we have successfully launched minertoken.cloud. That's a mobile version of the website that works through APIs. You can't buy the tokens from there, but you can monitor your wallet and see the market prices and all those things. And next video coming up after this one will be how to make transactions from your internal wallet on your phone without using our website. But for now, peace and out.